Shoot, now I've got to get back to my. Can you see my slide, Thrive Naturally?
No,
No, okay, I've got to share, that's why.
I don't see Debbie either.
I am cooking, so I figured it'd be less distracting if I had
That's
my
fine.
camera off. I'll pop it back on here in a bit, but I hate when there's a bunch of moving around.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I thought it was my computer again.
Thank you so much. So here we are at this Eventbrite Thrive Naturally Wellness and Vitality for Women over 40. And this is about making the most of our lives in a natural way. I'm Roxanne Wheeler, and I am a lifelong educator, hospice nurse, and passionate essential oils wellness advocate. Now I'm wondering, somebody is binging me, and could that be Rosie because she is having a hard time? No, I don't know why that's binging me. Anyway, sorry about that distraction. But I did want to just tell you a little bit about myself. I absolutely found that doTERRA completely reversed a serious brain injury that I had back in 2010. And for 3 years, I had no energy. I couldn't sleep. I was terrified to go to bed. I was terrified of everything. I cried at everything. I was hurting a lot physically. And so for 3 years, I was like that following that brain injury. And then one day, my sister, who's a women's health nurse practitioner, asked me if I had tried the doTERRA vitamins. We hadn't been in the doTERRA world very long. And I said, well, why should I? And she said, you'll just feel better. And I said, well, I'll have to ask my neurologist if that's okay. And my neurologist said, nothing to worry about. Take the vitamins, see how you do. And honestly, within 2 weeks, I was sleeping restfully for the first time in my life. After a month, I had my energy came back unbelievably. And then within the next month or two, my affect was back. I wasn't looking completely nothing, and I also could get off a pain prescription. So I thought I did pretty darn well, especially since I knew that meds had caused this brain injury, and I could get my money back. If I tried these vitamins and they didn't work, I had nothing to lose. So that was why I was so eager to try them. Well, I wasn't really eager. My sister kind of pushed me into it. But boy, since then, I have been all about these vitamins. So I'm not sure if you noticed in the Eventbrite, I think some questions or something, frequently asked questions, I'd asked people to fill out an interactive lifestyle assessment. So were you able to do that, Debbie?
No, Linda registered me, so I did not.
Okay, Linda, did you happen to fill out the interactive lifestyle assessment? You're muted.
No, because I was on that a line call and then I had another call and then I had a follow-up to do. So no, but I
Life
can
is
pull
busy.
it up.
Mhm.
Uh,
Well, if you can pull it up, if it's possible to pull it up, it's easy enough to answer even right now. And Christine, I'm wondering if you happen to notice that lifestyle assessment too. It's really easy to do. You just check off some boxes right online.
Yeah, here it is. I actually had that right out too, because I was making copies of it for somebody else. Yeah.
So basically, I'm wondering what might describe you right now, and like a word that might describe you right now. And what is it that you want? Why are you here? And then think of your top 3 concerns that you want to focus on through this class. Debbie, can you think of a word that describes you right now?
You know, when I'm here in Florida, I would say it's very content. I'm very, very happy to be here. Very
Oh.
different from at home.
And where's home?
Colorado.
Colorado, yeah, okay. And Christine, can you name your top 3 concerns that you'd like to focus on? Can you unmute?
Oh, am I muted or not?
No, I'm
No.
talking to Christine.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh, now I'm not. I don't know what happened to her. Okay, and
Well,
I'm
I'm happy.
happy, that's good, and I know why
I'm a
you're
happy person.
okay, so let's continue on. And so basically, you can win a virtual essential oil party through this Zoom class by engaging in it. And you can choose. You can make roller bottles for your favorite solutions. You could invite your friends and create your own community of oil lovers. You could get some everyday first responder information for your family wellness. And you can bring your own questions to get personalized solutions too. Or you can even learn how to use oils with cooking and food prep. So those are some options for whoever wins that virtual oil party. So the first thing we're going to talk about in this class would be what are the oils? What are natural solutions for healthy, empowered living? Does anybody else here need safe, effective, affordable health solutions? I know I do, right?
Yep.
Well, we have choices. And in the modern approach, that is where you would basically get in touch with a healthcare provider. And what they do is manage our symptoms, and they do it through synthetic agents that we call medicine. And there are often side effects, known and unknown side effects. And of course, billions of dollars are being spent uh, every year on global healthcare. Trillions are spent. And are we any healthier because of that? Well, you know what? We aren't, right? We could also look at a natural approach. And this is where we are addressing our body's needs and root causes. And this is basically done through extractions from plants. And these will enhance our wellness. They are safe and there are side benefits without side effects. And so that's really what we're talking about today with the oils. And then the oils are basically very, very effective. And they are natural and they are safe, and they're natural so that our bodies interact with the plant materials normally the way our body would interact with our own cells. So that's a great thing that they're natural compounds and they are distilled from plants for various benefits. Every oil will have its own unique set of benefits. And if you look at that little light yellow picture in that square there, you can see inside it's a cell. And we know the green thing on the outside of that little circle represents bacteria, right? And bacteria cannot get inside of our cells. And that is one reason that synthetic compounds can actually help bacterial infections because they can stay on the outside of the cell where the bacteria are. However, many of the things that bother us and cause problems are viral, and those get inside of our cells. And the good thing about the essential oils is they can get inside the cells too, because they are made with a fatty or a lipid material, and the cell membrane is fatty or lipid. And so that can cross easily and get in there and kind of deactivate those viruses. And do you know that these oils are so affordable? Linda, I know that you deal with oils a lot. So can you give us an example of how they might be affordable?
Well, to me, they're a lot cheaper to purchase an oil to help you versus going out and getting over-the-counter medications that you may have to take several times before it helps you. Um, and of course, some people use their insurance for certain medications and they have a deductible. But again, sometimes that's not always something that's going to take care of whatever it is that what their issue is what I'm finding out.
Yeah. And a lot of times you take a medication and then you get a side effect, then you need another medication to take care of that.
Absolutely. Yep. Yep.
I know for myself, on occasion, because I'm a swimmer, I'll get ear discomfort,
Mm-hmm.
be intense. But I know if I just take a couple drops of tea tree and a couple drops of lavender and rub it around the outside of my ear, or I put it on a cotton ball and just stick the cotton ball inside my ear canal. I don't have to push it in very far. Go to bed. By the morning, I'm fine. And that usually is under $1 for those two oils.
Right. Yes. It's pennies per drop, basically.
Pennies per drop, absolutely. And so we have this standard of quality because, the FDA doesn't even require that the oils are tested a certain way or anything. They don't regulate supplements at all. And these oils are all considered supplements. doTERRA is safe and pure because of the multiple tests that every single oil batch goes through. It goes through, I think, 54 tests before we receive the bottle. And none of the bottles will ever be put to market by doTERRA if there is even one tiny impurity. And so that is very reassuring to me, I know. And it is very, it results in a very dependable product. So like my peppermint, which I use every time I get into a vehicle as a passenger, I'll put one drop right underneath my nose. That totally takes care of any motion queasiness because I'm the queen of motion sickness. Hands down, I am the queen. And I don't like being the queen either, but that totally takes care of it. It took care of it. Like for an example, I took a 16-hour flight between Atlanta and Johannesburg, South Africa, using 2 drops of peppermint the whole time. Never got queasy, never got that weirdo head, never felt the weird tiredness that normally a Dramamine would have given me. So I felt really good about that. So we know that the oils are pure, they are sustainable, and they are natural. And they work by when the oils are applied to our skin for 20 seconds, then we know that it's in your blood after 20 seconds on your skin. When it's in your blood for 20 minutes, it's then in every cell of the body. So, okay. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I've got 2 people are telling me that they tried to get in and they're getting confused here, so.
Oh, yeah, it is a bit confusing. I'm glad that I learned that by joining here. So now I know why people are having trouble with mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, hopefully they'll make it in or not. But we do know that the oils are, so within 20 minutes in our blood, they're in every cell of our body. looking for empty receptors, because empty receptors, and receptors are in every cell of our body, multiple receptors. And when receptors are empty or unsatisfied, that's when we get symptoms.
Mhm.
When the right oil is in your blood, it finds those empty receptors, they attach, and the symptoms go away. And that literally is getting to the heart of the cause of our problem. So that's how I like to explain it. Um, so what are some top essential oils for women's well-being? Well, lavender is a wonderful one, and lavender, Christine, have you got much experience with essential oils? Can you unmute, and are you able to unmute?
He probably has earbuds on.
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, I'll tell you, out of the list that you have here, Adaptive is my absolutely go-to oil.
Mhm.
I use that if I'm feeling a little anxious about doing something that, it might be out of my comfort zone. And so what I'll do is maybe 2 hours before I have to do whatever it is that might be troubling me, I'll take an adaptive soft gel and then I will apply the oil over my heart and my wrists.
The Adaptive is such a super oil.
It really is. It is absolutely my favorite.
In fact, I'm going to put some on right now. And the way
Yeah.
I'm going to do it is I'm going to put it on my hand, and then I'm going to rub my hands together,
Hmm.
and then I'm going to inhale. Ah, I love the smell.
I do too.
I love it. And then I'm
I
going to put it on the back of my neck, right below my brain stem, on my throat. Mm. Oh, I can't get enough of that. That Adaptive oil is so good.
It's wonderful.
And so women really can benefit from that. Now, the lavender is tried and true. Many people use it with their kids, especially. I've used it with my dog. Um, but even psychologists are suggesting 1 drop of lavender in your mouth will be equal to a common med used for anxious feelings. And I use that with my dog, my little 10-pound dog, his whole last year of his life, because he was so highly anxious. So lavender is a really great oil. If you don't need that kind of intensity for anxiousness, just even putting it in your bath with Epsom salts, putting it on your pulse points, smelling it, putting it on the bottoms of your feet will all really be helpful for just about any woman and her baby. If she's got a colicky baby, if she's got a baby that can't sleep. So that's a great one. And I've already mentioned about the peppermint and how much it helped me. And so I'm make sure that, okay, Christine's back. Christine must be having some phone because yeah, she's gone in and out a couple times now. Um, so what about On Guard? Debbie, what can you tell us about On Guard?
Oh, it's definitely our go-to at our house. Anytime, anybody, if we know we've been exposed or like when we've traveled, been around a lot of people, been to places that are really crowded, I'm always diffusing it. If I'm not diffusing it, if we actually are feeling symptomatic, scratchy throat, stuffy heads, then I turn to the soft gels. But especially in the winter, that's definitely a big go-to in my diffuser.
That is such a special oil. Um, for me, it's my proactive immunity approach every single day.
Mhm.
I take one On Guard soft gel every single morning. And yet, if by the end of the day I know I'm going to be exposed at the gym, at a big restaurant, or something like that, on a plane, with a bunch of people I don't know, I will take extra. But I also really good about diffusing it every day. Because what happens when we diffuse our oils? Who's got a good answer for that question?
Well, you're breathing it in. So it's just like it's being, it's doing the same as if it was being applied to your skin.
Mhm. However, when we breathe an oil in, we are getting it almost instantaneously into the limbic system of our brain, which is right behind the top of your nose. And that part of your brain is what deciphers sense, recalls memories, and deals with certain reflexes. Okay, so that limbic system is super important for so many reasons. And so when we can breathe in oil, like whenever I put an oil on my body, I always try to make sure and smell it at the same time because I want that quick, instant hit. And yet the topical application will give me the longer lasting benefits. And frankincense,
Mm,
what can we say about frankincense?
another one of my favorites. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I actually put that behind my ears every morning.
Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent. It's in my oil shot every morning and every night. I have a little shot glass. I should have brought it in with me. Because I'm in a part of the house where my husband can't hear me because he's trying to read. But in my shot glass, I put a little bit of water, like a half an inch of water, and then I put oils in there that are safe orally, and frankincense is one of them. Um, and then I just shoot it back morning and night because when we give ourselves oral essential oils, we're literally taking care of anything in our digestive system and in our elimination system really well. So that's a great thing. And it's great for the brain too. That's basically why I do the frankincense orally, is for my brain. And you know what else? Frankincense is good for anything you're not sure what oil should be used.
Yes.
When in doubt, frank it
Yep.
out.
Yep. 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 And I think I read a long time ago. So if you apply a different oil, like say you want to put On Guard and frankincense together on your body, frankincense will enhance the On Guard. I think I read that somewhere.
Absolutely, that does. It absolutely enhances any oil it is used with. Yep, yep. And so geranium, how many of you use geranium for hormone balance?
I don't think I've ever used geranium unless I put it in another, like a different recipe. But I don't have any hormones to deal. Well, I just don't. At
Well,
least,
you do, but they're just not screaming at you.
yeah, they're just not screaming at me. Yeah, I don't mean that I don't have them. I just mean that, yeah, I guess I'm pretty balanced. It's very seldom that, I guess because I'm always taking the adaptive, maybe.
That could be because I take the adaptive too, and I feel very even, very
Yeah,
even.
it's very seldom that, I get, in a disruptive state.
Mhm. And so, what about wild orange? Wild orange is the happy oil.
Mhm.
I know a story of a young woman. Actually, I taught her in high school, and she had a teenage daughter who was struggling to get up for school. I mean, struggling. And so she ended up diffusing wild orange about 15 minutes before the daughter was supposed to get up for school. Once she started doing that, she had no problem getting up for school.
I'll be darned.
She got
Yeah.
up and was ready to go in a happy mood. And another thing, when I was researching for this class, because there's so much to know about the oils, we can't know it all, right? And one thing I hadn't remembered was how much it can help regenerate our cells. So
I did.
that's pretty good. And of course, we've already talked about our adaptive, but did we mention that it helps us with our focus? I love that about adaptive because when we're stressed out, we're not going to be focused. But I've proven that in the past, how well it works for me at least. And then also we've got our MetaPower oil. The MetaPower oil is a fairly new blend, a couple years old. And Debbie, what would you say about the MetaPower oil blend?
I don't use the blend a whole lot. I used to take it in water kind of as an appetite suppressant. Um, but I have since started using a lot of the other products and not so much the oil anymore.
Yep, that's fine. And some people don't like the taste of it because of the ginger that's in it. However, they found diffusing it also suppressed their appetite.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. I had some friends who were at a standstill. They were at a plateau in weight loss and they asked me for some help and they started doing that. And then they dropped 5 pounds rather quickly, got past their plateau. So that was nice. And the
Yeah.
thing I like about MetaPower is it really helps level off your blood sugar because every time we eat, we're going to spike with our blood sugar, and that causes an insulin spike. Insulin spikes will age us. And how do we age first? Generally, we show it in our face. So, MetaPower can help us in so many ways. So, do you have any oil here that you use in a particular way that you think is worth sharing to the rest of us? Because I love to learn.
Right. Well, I use the frankincense, the adaptive, and I do the MetaPower in my water at least once a day. I'm trying to think. I do like Motivate. I do like that one, and I will put that on in the morning. I actually have it just sitting out in the kitchen. If I find that I have to do something that I'm supposed to get on and I'm, you know, putting it off, I will rub Motivate on me behind my ears, my pulse points,
Uh-huh.
temples, my wrists. Yeah, I'll do that. And I will diffuse that one.
Great. That's awesome. Anybody else have an idea that they want to share?
And of course, I put lemon in my water all day.
And lemon is so cleansing and so supportive of the liver.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
liver is such an important detoxing organ for us.
Now I put lemon, frankincense, and cinnamon in my tea in the morning.
Hmm.
If I don't put it in my tea, I'll put it in hot water and then just put a smidge of honey.
Mhm.
Because the frankincense, in drinking it, well, I guess you get used to it, but I know for some people they might say it's too strong. But I'll just put a smidge of honey and I'll drink that down in the morning if I don't put it in my tea.
That's excellent.
And when I say that, I want to make sure people understand. I'll make the tea first, then remove my tea bag, and then put the oils in and the honey.
Okay, and you do that, why?
For all the reasons, like for frankincense, get you going for the day, to wake up your brain, the lemon to detox, yeah. And the cinnamon, I love the taste of cinnamon. So, I mean, sometimes I put 2 drops of cinnamon because I don't mind.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, and I have a friend that she puts On Guard in her tea. every.
Well, that's really good. Thank you for sharing that.
So it's good that people know that they can, some of our oils, yeah, we can, ingest.
Oh, yes, definitely. And how do we know we can ingest them?
You look on the bottle and it will say supplements.
There's a box that will say supplement facts, and that means it's okay to swallow. And on the bottle too, it'll say add to 4 ounces of water. If you're looking at another, and then usually it'll be blends that will tell you this, it won't have a supplement facts box, and it will say apply topically or use aromatically. So that you'll always know by looking on your bottle if you're not sure about a particular oil, if it's safe or not, if it's recommended or not for oral ingestion. Most of our oils are safe for oral ingestion. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is using our supplements for our wellness also. And so what we've got here is a slide that's indicating for people 45 to 55, and it doesn't have to stop at those ages. But VMG, which stands for vitamins, minerals, and greens plus. So it's got a whole bunch of stuff in there. And that is this little packet. See how little it is? It's not very fat at all. But in here are 90 ingredients. 90. I challenge anybody to compare other vitamins to our VMG. This will help our energy levels, our gut health and digestion, our bone density, strength, and support. It will help improve our skin cell turnover and texture. It will help our hormones to regulate and function better, as well as help our brain function and our focus. And you know what? I love the idea of the skin being so affected by the oils. For me, I feel like my skin feels softer all over my body since I've been taking the VMG since about October 1st. I've really noticed my skin feels much softer and it seems brighter. I feel like I'm glowing more. In fact, I ran into somebody locally here. I hadn't seen her in 3 years. And she looked at me and she says, Roxanne, you are aging backwards. She goes, I want to be like you. And I thought, well, that's really nice and sweet. And so for aging gracefully, the VMG is awesome for pre, peri, and postmenopause. It's great for our hormones and great for our bones. And those are certainly big concerns for women over 40. So, Linda, I think you take the VMG, don't you? You're muted.
Sorry. Yes, I take it with the collagen. I mix it in a little shaker bottle, and then, yep, and then I put the water in, I shake it up, and then I get a larger container because I like mine um, not as strong. Everybody's different. And then I put ice in it. And so, yeah, it's usually in my water bottle like this. And then what I do is I put the little, what's that ball called? That little mixing bowl, the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I throw that in my water bottle.
Yeah.
So that way I can shake it, periodically.
Excellent. That's so good. And I don't know about you, I personally love to take mine first thing. I wake up and as I'm getting ready to go out the door, I'm drinking that and taking some of my other supplements that I want to take first thing in the morning. But right away, I really feel for myself, it really helps my energy for the day. My husband, on the other hand, takes his at the end of the day. So you all figure out what works best for you.
Right. Yeah. I sometimes take mine as a breakfast, or I take it as like a snack, like say 2 o'clock-ish,
Mhm.
when you just need something to get you over that hump before dinner, then I'll make it for that. I'll save it for that. But sometimes I take two of them, so doesn't, yeah.
That's great. Um, and of course, again, it's completely natural from Whole Foods. It's not like you might find in a compacted pill that'll never even dissolve. It'll just go right through you into the sewer. Um, some of those people who take those hard compacted vitamins aren't even aware that the sewer workers are scooping them out, and sometimes they can even read the brand still on the capsule, which
Mm.
is, oh, or a tablet, I guess would be called a tablet. But yeah, those aren't going to be well absorbed at all. And the VMG is actually 10 times more bioavailable than anything else on the market. So I think we're pretty darn fortunate that doTERRA has done all their research over these last few years to come up with this great vitality supplement for us. And it is also something that you can even figure you've got peppermint in it already. You've got a few oils in the VMG already in there. And those oils help our cells to absorb and metabolize the nutrients in the VMG, as well as any food we might be taking with it. And so I did mention that it's great for pre, peri, and postmenopause. And so often we as older women are kind of suffering, and it's mostly related to the loss of estrogen. I heard a noted OBGYN talking on a podcast about the fact that she was seeing way too many patients complaining of shoulder problems, hip problems, and so forth. And a lot of that discomfort has to do with the loss of estrogen. So thank goodness we've got our BMG to help us with that. Now, for the 55 plus lady, she's looking really for catch-up contributions on her health and wellness, supporting her inflammatory system and the joints. And of course, we do need a good, healthy inflammatory response because that is part of our immune system, where if you get any kind of injury or insult to tissues, then right away the inflammatory response rushes to that area to try to protect it and try to heal it. So we do want a healthy inflammatory response, and our joints will definitely feel better if we are there rather than an overactive inflammatory response. And so when we're 55 plus, it also is great for helping protect and support our brain health with brain clarity, better memory, um, being a little bit more responsive to our world and not questioning ourselves so much with, "Oh, could I be getting that dreaded A disease?" We can focus more on supporting our brain in a healthy way. And the VMG is also great for helping us with any oxidative stress from nutrient deficiencies, a sedentary lifestyle, microbiome issues, and stress. And stress, oh my gosh, it doesn't matter if it's a tiny stress or a big stress. The body does not know the difference. The body will react to every level of stress as if it's a big stress, which is what contributes to a lot of our wellness issues. And sometimes people don't quite understand that critical piece that stress gives us in our wellness. So VMG is a terrific way to support hormones. It's also great for managing balance during different life stages, whether it's energy or just feeling well. And so VMG is perfect for us at any stage of our lives. And wild orange, peppermint, and ginger will actually be a big part of why things are working so well. And our E omega, the E omega is the essential fatty acids, and they are really, really good. They have found through clinical research that we get a healthy inflammatory response by taking these omegas. We are helped in our lipid profiles, which I'm trying to be completely compliant here. So we don't want too many lipids floating around in our blood. And the endothelial function, which is the lining of all of our blood vessels, which when those kind of get irritated or have some little buildup inside those blood vessels, that's when we can get into some big issues. And of course, the E omegas help with our cardiac structure, our heartbeat pattern, and our blood flow. So how will we know that it's helping us? Well, people in the clinical trial saw a reduced resting heart rate, and they saw reduced diastolic blood pressure, which is the lower number of the blood pressure measurement. So those are all great proof that the E omega is a wonderful product. And a big reason it's so cardioprotective is the wild orange that is in each of these soft gels. Now, the soft gels are a little bit larger than our previous ones. So this is a little bit bigger. However, and I have trouble swallowing pills, I'll be honest with you. The VMG was a dream come true for me because it takes me a while to get them down. And so I was nervous about those bigger essential fatty acid soft gels. I just bite them. I treat them like a gummy. And for me, first thing in the morning, it's like having a little treat. So that's how I take my omegas with my VMG first thing in the morning, because I know that they are so darn terrific for me. So what are some ways that we can take care of ourselves? I mean, everybody has their own way. Everyone has their own routines, their own habits that they form. And so, Linda, can you tell us one routine that you find yourself in?
Oh, so every morning I mentioned that I do the frankincense, lemon, and cinnamon first thing in the morning. That's the first thing I do. I take my EO, I chew it like you do, like a gummy. Um, and then if I know that I'm going to be doing a lot that might stress me out, I will take that adaptive in the morning. Or if it's a nighttime thing, then I'll take it in the afternoon. But I pretty much diffuse stuff all day long.
Mhm.
And I take my VMG, like I said, I either take it for breakfast or I take it for my midday, mid-afternoon snack is what I've noticed. That's what I've been doing lately, taking it for that time.
Mhm. Now, Linda, what does the E omega taste like?
I don't know. I'm so used to it. It kind of has a wild orange flavor to it. Yeah, I
Does
never paid
it,
attention to it.
does it taste fishy at all?
Oh no, no fishy taste.
No fishy taste. And these fish are harvested from Nordic seas, really cold water fish, and really fresh fish will never smell fishy either. So that's another thing that you can figure, if you're already taking fish oil in your people who might be doing that for the part of their health routine, if it smells fishy at all, it's probably rancid, which is,
Rants, well, this is what I've read, that some of the companies are not really using the fish, they're just using the remnants, the stuff you throw away.
ooh,
Yeah, well, I've read that somewhere a long time ago. And then when you think about it, like these food companies that, make hamburgers that's not really meat, they're flavors. So it's probably a lot of synthetic
mhm,
chemicals that they're putting in to make it taste good, maybe, because I've seen gummies.
mhm.
You're talking about the red dyes and the yellow dyes and all that stuff. So, yeah, it's not something you want to put in your body.
No, no, and anything, of course, most of us know this. Anything that touches your body that you inhale or that you swallow obviously gets inside of you and it's going to affect you. So cleaning
Yeah.
products, pesticides, herbicides, anything like that. Like every morning I'm walking and I usually see somebody spraying their lawn and I'm thinking, oh my gosh. And some people are doing it barefooted, walking around and spraying their lawn with chemicals. And I'm thinking, what are you going to end up with?
And no mask.
No mask, nothing protective. I'm not sure what they're thinking. They're going to be killing all these bugs and stuff, yet it's not going to hurt them. Doesn't make any sense to me.
And
Um,
then you have bugs that go on the grass,
yeah,
you know. It's
yeah,
sad.
yeah, yeah. That's so true. Yeah. So, Christine, I know that you're a fairly new customer of Marie's. Are you able to tell us how you're using your oils yet? Are you able to unmute and tell us? Can you unmute?
She's probably using her phone. I have such a terrible time with the Zoom calls and a phone.
Mhm. Is it too hard to do, Christine?
I, yeah, I don't even know where the button is.
I'm going to keep going. If you figure it out and you want to chime in, please do so. Okay, Christine?
Mm.
Would love to hear from you. Another thing that I have found has been part of my self-care is foot baths or tub soaks. Oh my God. When I'm aching and stuff, I have a combination of Balance, Aroma Touch, and Deep Blue that I mix in with my Epsom salts, and I get in that tub, and when I get out, I am not aching at all. So for me, that works out well. And I'm also usually meditating to my daughter in the tub while I'm doing that because she has some recordings. It's really for me, it's my guilty pleasure.
I love that idea.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice because I don't get to see my daughter much at all. So it's really nice. I get to hear her voice and get nice and relaxed listening to her.
I should have pulled out I do I soak my feet at night, like if I'm working late, and I have a dishpan, like from the dollar store. So I just put the oils in there with the Epsom salt. I should have done that tonight.
Yeah, that's a really good practice, I think. And it gets in through your feet and it affects your whole body.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, yeah. So people who want to soak but can't have trouble getting in and out of the tub or their tub isn't deep enough or whatever, a foot bath will really be the ticket too. So mindfulness, how we do anything is how we do everything. And so how can we be more mindful? We can, number one, focus on the breath. A lot of us will become very shallow breathers when we're stressed out. And I catch myself doing that often. And so then I just stop and I think, breathe in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, focusing on that breath. And I need to also focus on the present. It's very easy to jump ahead and be thinking about what's next or what's happening tonight or what might happen. And of course, that puts us into an anxious state right away.
Mm.
And how often does multitasking help us? What do you think about multitasking?
It's not a good idea. Because your brain isn't made up to do that. Because if you are doing two or three things, then you're shortchanging yourself on all three things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We can only focus on one thing at a time. And
Right.
so I guess if we're being mindful throughout our day, it's going to help us to be more productive, more successful, and be more relaxed. So let's do a little mindfulness meditation right now. We're going to do a little 4 square breathing with intention. So I'd like you all to close your eyes and just follow my instructions. So what you'll do is you'll take a breath in to the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it for the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe it out. Out 1, 2, 3, 4. And then hold it 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So here we go. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. One more time. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Now, in reality, if you want to replicate that for yourself, you're probably going to want to add several more rounds, and then you'll feel a difference, I believe. Another way of doing mindfulness meditation is to breathe out much more slower than when you're breathing in. So that's actually when you get to the vagus nerve and slow down the vagus nerve, which is very much involved when we're stressed out. So you could breathe in to the count of 4, hold it for the count of 6, breathe out for the count of 8. And that's a little trickier to get used to, but it really does help that vagus nerve quite a bit. So I did want to mention that. So how can we actually save money with doTERRA? If a person doesn't have their wholesale account, you can always start that with me now. And then you can join our private team Facebook page called Roxanne's doTERRA Family for the latest doTERRA announcements, education, BOGO's information, and 3 different giveaways every month. So that is one thing that you can do. And by starting your wholesale subscription of the VMG Plus, the E Omega Plus, adding a frankincense and an adaptive, plus you'll receive free wholesale pricing for 1 year, free shipping on that order, a free peppermint. I thought I brought my little peppermint. Yes, I think it's here. Nope. Here it is. You'll get a little tiny peppermint as well as a free glass blender bottle. And it comes in its own separate little box with a nice little instruction booklet right here on how to take them. And you'd also get this month the free product of the month, the MetaPower Blend, as well as a free diffuser. And so that would literally save $187.75 plus shipping from starting out with that particular order. I've got a QR code there if anybody wants to get started with that particular order. And once you get into that link, if you needed to, you know, add something else or take away something that's in the order, you can certainly do that. But doing the order from the link itself, if you stray from the link to investigate some of the products, that's no problem, but go back to the link in order to place the order, the subscription order, and that way you'll get all those free things. Okay, it's all programmed right into that link. But if you've already got your own account, on rewards, you want to order your VMG and E Omega Plus and get the bonus peppermint and the bonus MetaPower oil, the free glass blender bottle, and free shipping on that order when you do it on rewards. So everyone here on the Zoom will get the Thrive bundle of gifts from me. So it may take me, I've got to see how long it will take me to convert this video into a YouTube in order to put into my thank you email to you, but that'll be coming out no later than tomorrow night. Okay, so it depends on how long it takes me to do my conversion with the video. But I do want to make sure that everybody is aware of that. As well as you might want to take a screenshot of my information so that if you have questions, you can reach out to me on my cell. You can call me or text me, or you can email me. And if you're very wellness minded and you love helping other people and would love a stream of income from doTERRA, we should talk. You can make $600 in a year with no 1099 for taxes, and that's enough to pay for much of your oil products. You can do what I do and empower others to rely on natural wellness too, if that is something that you think might work. And so we have systems in place that can help people get started and lots of resources. And I would welcome anybody who would like to investigate that with me. So right now we've got another minute for any remaining questions before we sign off. So does anybody have any questions or anything else to add?
Nope, I think you did an awesome job.
Well, thank you, Linda. I think we lost Debbie at one point, but
She,
she,
yeah, her hubby they're probably home from Tampa.
oh, okay. Okay. I'm going to stop my share right now, and we've lost Christine as well. So Linda, thank you so much for joining. That was so great. I'm going to stop the recording.